She-Ra Princess of Power Barbie doll figure that came out from the MattyCollector toy line at San Diego Comic-Con. Sorry for the crudity of this video, unfortunately I have to do it this way because the box is so massive. But look at the detail they put into this, I'm really impressed with it. I know the box is a bit oversized, but they had a lot of information they wanted to put on here. Plus they wanted to emphasize how incredibly cool She-Ra really is. We also get a brief synopsis about how She-Ra came into her own, even though she was a spin-off off of He-Man. And look at all the special things on the bottom, there's a lot of people involved in this. Here's inside the box itself. This is really bright pink. It's very reminiscent of the original She-Ra colors that came out from the 1980s. We also got a mini comic that was included as well. I'll do a different video on that separately. But here's She-Ra herself. I almost feel awful about taking her out of this packaging, especially being in front of Grayskull. Some people were wanting her to be in front of the Crystal Castle instead, but I prefer Grayskull. I think that this is where she should be in front of. I think that's actually much more iconic, even though I know the Crystal Castle is supposed to be more synonymous with She-Ra, but still, I do like this background a lot. She originally came in this outside packaging, which look at the artwork on this. This is really intense. I wish we got more artwork like this that was released throughout the entire line. With any luck, we may get a Catra figure at some point down the line as well. That's something I'm really going to be looking forward to. Even the top of the packaging, I'm really liking the artwork. And oh my god, on the side of the packaging, Luki is hiding. But alright, that's enough of the packaging. Let's go ahead and take her out of this. Here she is. She is quite beautiful. I'm so happy that we got a stand for her. It'd be so difficult to have her stand up on her own. We also got two sets of clothing. One set is similar to the clothing that she wore in her original toy that came out in the 1980s, and the other set is a set of clothing where she can dress up as Adora. That way we can have the different transformations. Although, honestly, I'm probably going to keep her in this pose, in this clothing, because this is what I like her the best. We also have the alternate sword of protection. This is also much more golden, similar to her original sword that came out. Although, again, I do like this one much more. Look at her face. I really like the details in her eyes. I also like the makeup they put on her as well. It's kind of subtle, but you can still see it. The gauntlets she starts off with are much more plain looking, but something I still prefer. Her boots and most of her clothing is made of like a pleather material. It is a bit more difficult to get off, but still, if you want to change her up in her look, you do have to go through the effort to do it. Oh, she's got a blue gem in the middle of her stomach. I'm surprised she didn't come with a brush. I can totally see her hair getting matted up just from being around all my other toy figures. She has a lot of articulation. Besides the idea that you can interchange your hands and move them out, she can also move her elbow in two different ways. Of course, she also has head movement as well. She has upper arm movement, and shoulder movement, torso movement, upper leg movement, double jointed knee movement, and of course ankle movement. If you take her boots off, and oh my god, she's got toe articulation. Her hands are very soft and are pretty pliable. Her belt is removable. This is something that's very vital for when you're changing her costume out. Here's a view from the back under her cape. Her clothing is Velcro. We have three different sets of hands. She starts off with one set, but if we want her to have like a fist in one hand and then maybe hold the sword of protection in her left hand, we can switch it up and do it that way instead. I almost feel like we should have got a second head or maybe even a third head because I don't want to take off the headdress. We have one of those little plastic things that are holding it in place, and I know as soon as I take that off, I'm never going to get this back in place perfectly. But I do want to show what she looks like in her toy version of the headdress that she had, including the whole portion where it looks like she's wearing a mask. Here's her first transformation. I'm not a big fan of this dress, but it doesn't look so bad on her. You can see she has a different jewel in the middle of her chest. She's also got the red jewels on her cuffs as well. The headpiece is the biggest part that I'm not that big of a fan of. I think just because I like the animation version of her so much more in the comic book version, that this one just doesn't seem right. Although I do kind of like the headdress being flipped upside down where it's like she's wearing a mask. I know there's purists out there that like only this version and don't like the animation version. Hey, you know what? To each their own. And here she is as just Adora, or Force Captain Adora. I'm really liking how this came out, although it was kind of difficult to get her into this, but still I think it's totally worth it. But wait a minute, if you look at the back of her outfit here, you can actually put the sword in between here and hold it as a holster, although I don't know if I'll ever actually do that. I'll probably keep it in her hand at all points, but still, I like the idea that we have that option. All in all, very beautiful figure, very happy with her. I'm really glad that MattyCollector released her. I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to get some of the other females that have come out from this toy line, such as Catra. That would be really awesome. There have been a couple other Barbie figures that were shown at San Diego Comic-Con, but yet we don't really know for sure whether or not they're going to be made. Hopefully, with the success of this toy, they will be done. Finally, I just want to show She-Ra next to a couple of the other Barbie figures that I have, even though technically she's not really a Barbie figure, even though I've been saying that this entire time. But still, she fits in line with them fairly well. Also, I just want to show what she looks like next to Wonder Woman here. This is the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. And oh my god, that's Rainbow Bright hiding over in the corner. But that's about it. I can't really talk this this figure up anymore. I mean, she is really well worth it. She was available at San Diego Comic-Con, but unfortunately they did sell out. I don't know if they're going to get extra stock later on down the line and sell it on MattyCollector, but you never know. Also, if you're not aware of this, a company by the name of Mondo, or its creator by the name of Mondo, is going to be making some 12-inch figures of Skeletor and He-Man, and I think that'll go really good in line with She-Ra, so I can't wait to see how that's going to turn out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching me in this video. Be sure to check out my Patreon site, my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.